Make sure I got this done here. There you go. Recording in progress. Again, Ken Francis, Houston, Texas. One of just many, many movers chiming in mid-afternoon here, Central Time, Eastern as well, and all over the world. Man, we had I don't know, almost all 50 states and probably definitely all four corners of the earth chiming into this Zoom. And this is a representation of our community, and we've stretched all over the globe, and it's exciting to be a part of this project. It really, really is. I've been here for what, 90 plus days. I think today might be day 90. I don't know. But neither here nor there. We're gonna get this thing started. I know you all are waiting patiently for our guest speaker, who has some pretty interesting plans for us this week. She's gonna be on I don't say every day, but the next 4 days, I know she's planning to be here the same time with some topics that she believes she needs to cover, she wants to cover, and to just clarify some things, bring clarity to some things, and bring some positive energy. Bring some positive energy, some vision, and we're excited for that. This woman I met a few months back. I haven't met her personally, but over the web and over social media and the phone lines and whatnot, I've gotten to know her very, very well. And I can tell you she's brilliant. She's smart. She's a go-getter. She's very determined. And she has a heart for people, and she's building something special here. And I'm just grateful again. I say it every time I do a Zoom. I'm grateful to be here, grateful to be a part, because this project has already changed the course of my life and many, many other people already. And we haven't even barely been here right at 90 days. So, Mr. Crow, you want to come on, since you are my sponsor, just share a little bit about it as well, how you feel about this project, and bring Miss Lynette Arden up for us, man. Let's get it.
This isn't going to be a presentation. It's going to be
Sure
an
not.
explanation. So,
Let's get it. Let's get
so,
it.
so no. So, Miss Lynette, if you're ready to go, we're just going to turn it over to you so you can do what you do. So just go ahead and chime in when you are ready.
All right, let me see if I get everything going here.
Hey, hey,
May, how's everybody
good
doing?
to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to break down I'm going to shut my video off because that glare drives me nuts.
Hmm.
I got to reposition my desk in my office so it's not right in front of the window. Um, I want to break down all of the pieces of GetFit mining, so that when we move into MoveQuest, everybody has a pretty good understanding. So today we're going to focus on the miners so that everybody understands what the miners are doing. I think that's important because that's how you mine the tokens. And then each day this week, I'm just going to break down each one of these pieces. Hopefully, this will explain it to people because I know a lot of people don't understand how the system actually works, and I can't do it all at one time. The reason it just makes it too difficult for people to retain it or understand it. I start getting too deep into the explanations. I only have 2 slides to share, literally, while we go over this. So let me share my screen real quick. And then I'm going to go over just a couple little updates just so people have them. So let me play this, get this thing out of my way. All right. So we're going to talk about the miners so everybody understands. And I think one of the biggest parts to clarify, because a lot of people will ask you if you're sharing it with them, well, what happens if people stop minting the miners? And so once we get through this full week and I start explaining how the system works, in the end, the minting of these miners and how the leasing works, it'll all come together. Hopefully, everybody will get that aha moment about the project. So when you mint these miners, the miners really are not part of the ecosystem. The ecosystem is where your liquidity comes from. It's where, that sustainability comes in as far as the liquidity goes. But minting the miners, that actually is a supply and demand mechanism. Okay. So to start with, you have to have MoveQuest, the MoveQuest token, in order to mint any of the miners to begin the proof of physical activity mining. When you mint these miners, it has 2 roles. One, it pays a commission for people who are helping us build the community. And secondly, it removes MoveQuest from circulation. So when you look at the Bitcoin tokenomics, when we mirror the 21 million, tokens that go out over the next 35 years. With Bitcoin, there will be no more once that 35th year is over and the 21 million are in circulation. But here, our system is slightly different. So when we're removing this MoveQuest, a person comes in, they mint their miners with MoveQuest. This MoveQuest is in the minting contract, okay? It's a smart contract. When you mint a miner, they're not already in inventory. You're actually doing this in real time and it's recorded right to the blockchain. So the smart contract makes a call to the blockchain. This miner is minted. It is a token, and there's no two alike. They're all unique. It's recorded to the blockchain, and it now belongs to you. You can transfer it from wallet to wallet or do whatever you want with it, but you need this to begin the mining process. When you spend that MoveQuest, it pays a commission, and then the remaining MoveQuest, and it's 60% right now, is sent back to the GetFit smart contract vault. And they're never again in circulation until the year 2060. And it just continues to do a halving like Bitcoin does. So once that 36th year comes into play, instead of it being 28 MoveQuest per day, it'd be 14 MoveQuest per day for 4 years. And then it'll do another halving. It'll be 7 MoveQuests per day for 4 years. And it'll continue on until it is just distributing 1 MoveQuest per day forever. Okay. And so that's what that's what happens to that MoveQuest. It doesn't go into any kind of spending fund. So it's never sold. It's just strictly returned back to the vault. So that's a significant part when people do come to the project and mint those miners. Now, the next step is understanding what your miner is. Okay. We have 5 different types of miners. Our first one is the Lenny, and that is a 50% mining power. That's how much mining power a Lenny has. You can evolve and upgrade to a primary. So you cannot mint primary, ultra, alphas, or omegas. You can only mint the Lennies. That's the onboarding part of the miners. So you mint the Lenny, and from there you enter into the ecosystem to evolve to higher powered miners, which give you more mining power. So think of it like back in the day with Bitcoin. If you were mining Bitcoin and you had a computer with, you know, had a small computer brain, right? It didn't have a lot of power. You were probably not mint or mine much Bitcoin. And it's the same here. Lennies are not going to mine a lot of MoveQuest tokens. Okay, those are your lowest powered miners. Now, if you had that, Bitcoin warehouse out there, I think it's in Iceland, where they have open roofs and air conditioning and everything else to cool the building. Okay, they're mining mega amounts of Bitcoin. That would be like omegas. I mean, obviously, it's not like that big warehouse out there in Iceland, but you get my point. It's a higher mining power. So you want to evolve those miners up to those higher powered miners so you can increase the amount of MoveQuest tokens that you can mine from that proof of physical activity. Each one of these miners have different elements, and each one of these elements, so I'm going to pop over to this next screen so you can see what they are. There's lightning, water. They may have changed the names of these, the developers, when they were doing the designing, so people could understand them better. But I think mother is now nature. Nope, nature is his own. So you got mother, steel, the rune of time, the rune of bravery, the rune of passion, darkness, nature, and art. These give you mining boosts. Okay, if you have the lightning on your miner, you're getting a 30% mining boost on all forms of workout. It doesn't matter. If you've got the rune of water and your workout has anything to do with a water sport, swimming, kayaking, snowboarding, anything that has to do with water, it's going to give you a 30%. I'm sorry, I did these wrong. They're 35% mining boost on that workout specific, but only 10% on non-specific workout. So if you had the rune of water, but you were doing, lifting weights or something like that. You wouldn't get the 30% mining boost because it wasn't a water workout. It was non-specific to the element. It would still give you a 10% mining boost. So that's what those elements mean on your miner. So when you go in and you look at your miner and it says the type is the omega. If you're looking at your ID, and I'm going to do this a little different because I can't use my cursor. And let me really boost this up because this floating thing always gets in my way. Take this up to 200% so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Get rid of this thing. All these crazy things they put. Can't really do a screen share if you got to look at all these floaters that are coming in. Get rid of that. Okay, this should make it easier for you guys to see. Okay, so when you're looking here, this is a type of miner. Omega, this means that it starts with a 4. So you can see up here in this mining ID, the first number is a 4. That's letting me know I have an omega. If that first number, I said letter, didn't I, earlier? If that first number begins with an 8, it's a Lenny. If it begins with a 1, it's a primary. A 2, it's an ultra. A 3, it's an alpha. A 4 is an omega. So that is what that first number in that ID means. Then 8 is the element. So if I was to come back over here to the elements, the 8 would be, let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the rune of steel. Oh, darkness. So sorry, guys. I don't know these by heart. How did he do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. Yep, 8. Okay, 8 is darkness. There we go. It's been a long time since I've looked at these sheets. So the element is darkness. So this would be any ball type of sports. Tennis, racquetball, ping pong, table tennis, football, baseball, softball, anything that has to do with any sports that have to do with the use of a ball. That would be what that element is. Okay, that element is that second number. So if it begins with a 0, it would be lightning. And I'll give you guys this too, and I'll put the element numbers by these so you guys don't do what I just did and mess up. But so 0 is lightning, 1 is water, 2 is mother, 3 is steel, 4 is time, 5 is bravery, 6 is passion, 7 is darkness, 8 is nature, and then 9 would be art. 0 is lightning. So you guys know what those mean up there. That is what that element is, and that is what that second ID number is. Now your third, fourth, fifth, and let's see, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh ID. These are the attributes of that miner. Blockchain doesn't recognize double digits. So it's a 0, you'll see here. A 0 is a 10. So for steps, I've got a 10% mining boost. That's what that 0 means here. 3 is giving me a 3% boost on my distance that I travel during my workouts, my steps. The fifth number is a 4. That's giving me a 4% mining boost on the calories that I burn. The 7 is 7% workout. Sleep is the 9. It's giving me a 9% bonus mining boost on my sleep. The last 2, that's telling you the colors of your miner. So basically, your primary color is this green, and then the secondary color is this grayish black color that you see here. That's what determines exactly how your miner is going to look once it's minted based on that ID. And so once that ID is created, then it gives you that NFT mining node. Okay, these are NFTs, they're non-fungible tokens. They are on the blockchain. They're completely unique. You'll never find 2 that are exactly alike. So every single one is unique in its own way. They are 3D, they're interactive, they have an algorithm, they're programmable. When we turn this on, the screen is programmable. It has technology in it. This button and are clickable. Okay, it's scrollable. So be able to scroll through your screen. And this comes into like when we get into the arenas and working your way to the Hall of Fame when it starts to record that activity. When you start to see those omega miners increase in their mining power, that'll be reflected here on that screen. So you'll actually be able to scroll through and see what it is that's actually boosting that omega's mining power. So I'm trying to give you guys a real kind of a breakdown on these miners. So this is basically, the 1 is the type. This is the element, the second number. The third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh number. Those are the element or the attributes. That's that mining boost, and then the design. Now, if you were to take this miner and you've got 400% mining power, you can add, because this is darkness, if I was doing a sport that, say I was out playing baseball or something, I would get a 35% mining boost. Now I've got 435% plus my 10% on my steps. That's 445% mining power. So when you hear that people are mining more with their omegas, not every omega has just 400% mining power. That is the base of its mining power. All of this, the element that determines also your mining power, plus these attributes also add to the mining power of that miner. Also, you have, if you go into your app, you'll see steps. You click on steps, it will bring up an intensity page, and it'll give you 4 tiers. If you're walking 0 to 60 steps, you're going to get a 5% mining boost. If you're walking 61 to 80 steps, you're getting a 10% mining boost. 81 steps to 100 or 81 steps to 99, that's 20% mining power boost. And if you go into the 4th tier, that's going to give you 30% mining boost on all steps that are 100 plus steps per minute. So you can really increase your miner's power just by your fitness, just by the intensity of your fitness, or working the workouts based on, the element of your miner. It's going to be nice when we have the marketplace open, because those of you that want to trade your miners, you'll be able to trade them for other miners that are maybe more specific to what you like to do with your fitness. But that gives you, an idea of how those miners work. These miners are significant to your mining, okay, of the MoveQuest, because once you plug this miner in to that mining dock, your miner begins processing that data that's coming over from your fitness trackers, okay, from Apple Health or from Health Connect or whatever it is that you're using. And so this physical activity, it's generating multiple hashes. Every move you make, there's these multiple hashes that are being generated. They're like little puzzle pieces, okay? They're representing small segments of this data from this physical activity that you're doing. And then they're bundled into one hash that's recorded to the blockchain when you submit that proof of physical activity. That's the final hash that represents the fitness that you did for the day. That's what's recorded to the blockchain. And so when you go to the blockchain, take your internal wallet address, go to snowtrace.com. You can plug that in to search that wallet and scroll down to where it says more data. And when you click that, it's going to open it up. And it's going to show you exactly what you submitted for that proof of physical activity. And that validates the tokens that you mined and were rewarded for that day. And so that is how this miner works. So you have to remember what these miners represent. 1, supply and demand of the MoveQuest. So when you mint the miner, it's literally removing MoveQuest from circulation, returning it back to the vault so that in the future, more MoveQuest can be mined from people that are mining down the road. Okay. Now, here's what's significant when people ask you what happens when people aren't minting anymore. Will the project fail? No, because if you'll notice, this doesn't have an impact on the ecosystem except for the removal of the MoveQuest, which is huge because that's a balancing of the supply and the demand. But what you have to understand is that that doesn't supply liquidity, okay? That's not part of that ecosystem. It's simply a way to remove MoveQuest from circulation. So we don't have a burning mechanism because burning creates it gives it, it's like inflation, okay? It makes it more valuable than it actually is. Like it wouldn't have the value that it says it has on the MoveQuest because you're burning them out of circulation, which gives people who are holding more a fake value. Okay, because it's not a real value because they were burned out of circulation. It's an inflated market value. And so we just remove them from circulation to be mined down the road. So if anybody asks you, or, and they will, everybody, especially you've got everybody that likes to critique, these different projects. But when you look at this project, you have to understand that the new money is not what makes this project run. Okay, minting those miners, you have to have those. It just simply removes them and pays a commission. That's it. Within the ecosystem, when you start mining and you start engaging within the platform, that's what supplies the liquidity. So what sustains this project is the size of the community, the number of people that are engaged. So if you have massive growth, you're going to see massive growth in that token market value. If you don't have growth, you'll just see it sustain at the same level. Why? Because the community is engaged using the application. They're submitting, they're claiming. Here in the next week or two, you'll be, creating challenges, you'll be joining challenges, you'll be able to lease out those miners. There'll be a lot more activity that you'll be able to do within the app very, very soon. But right now, it's limited because we aren't going to release it until we move into the MoveQuest app, all of these awesome features, the part of the real life gamification that you'll be able to get involved in. You'll start to see a big difference also in the sustainability of that MoveQuest. But the community truly drives the market value of the token. So it is important to build the community because we're a new project. Okay, yes, we've been here building this project for the last 3.5 years, but we really haven't gone out and built the community because we were doing our beta testing. So we were really limited as to the number of people that we would actually share the project with. And now that we are at that level where we're getting ready to do the grand, launch into the MoveQuest app and really start doing the promoting, the press releases, doing the events. I mean, things are going to really start beefing up here over the next several months as far as, what we do on a commercial level, marketing level way of things. We'll have our merchandise and branding and all this stuff that'll be ready to go. So I just really wanted to focus in on these miners. Why are these miners important? These miners are your vehicle to the tokens that you're mining. And you have to have those miners. Now, when we do move into the MoveQuest app, it'll be seamless. You guys, it'll be so much easier to get started. You won't have to go through the individual steps of the evolution. You can go right from a Lenny to an Omega, or you can go from a Lenny to a primary, a Lenny to an alpha, and you won't have to do the multiple steps. It'll make it a lot easier. You'll also be able to do it right inside the DApp. You don't have to go to the website to do it. So it might make it a lot easier for some people too. I guess it depends on your preference. I prefer my desktop to my phone, when I'm doing things with my wallets and whatnot, but that's just kind of giving you the brief overview of what these miners do, why they're important, why they're significant, and why you have to have these to get started. If you share the app with somebody and they do activate using your wallet that you're mining with, that is the activation code. If you share it with somebody, the blockchain links everything together, okay, by that wallet string. And so if you share it with somebody, you just give them your wallet address that you're mining with, they'll activate, and then they can begin minting their Lenny miners once they've purchased that MoveQuest at the exchange. So if you do share it, you want to make sure that they have your activation code. Your activation code is the wallet address that you're mining with. So that's how you get started. That's what I'm sharing today is this. Tomorrow, we're going to go over the ecosystem with the submissions and the claims. I'm going to skip the evolution until what is today? Tuesday, until Thursday. That's how my schedule for Thursday is the evolution. Tomorrow, we're going to go over submission and claims because I'm also going to break down to all of you how the fee structure will work because we did change that prior to this last week or so. It was everybody, the submission fee was the same. but we have broken it down to the type of miner that you're mining with, what those submission fees will be. Also on your claims, we've broken those down as well too. So your mining is almost going to have a default staking mechanism in place. And so you are going to want to really make sure you make it to tomorrow's, because the submission and the claim fees are a really significant part of the ecosystem and how that works. And so that'll be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I feel like I really didn't go over much, but this is what today's is. It's going over those miners. So we can open it up for questions, Ken, if anybody's got questions specific to the miners. I don't want to get off in left field on anything else. This is just today about minting the miners. If you have any questions at all about what these miners do, how they work, let's keep the questions specific to what our topic is for the day.
Okay, Lynette. Herschel, do we want to have those in the chat, or do we want people to raise their hand with their camera on? How you feeling about that?
Either way, it's up to you.
Okay,
Got
so
a couple up there already.
yeah, I got Catherine. Go ahead, Catherine.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank you for
hello.
taking questions. And thank you for everything about this project. My question is, Google Fit is phasing out, and so a lot of people are being transitioned to Fitbits, which don't have the different workouts that match the different elements anymore. So I was just wondering, how is there a way to address that?
I am going to have to talk to the developers on that. I don't use Android at all, so I don't know how the Fitbits work. But let
Okay.
me find out for you,
Okay.
because we may
Thank
have to
you.
make some adjustments based on that. It's a good question to ask.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, we have Michael Scoopin. Let me go ahead and see. Go ahead, Michael.
Hello there. My first time into crypto, so this is so freaking exciting. I can't stand it. But is it too is it too elementary to ask you where these miners are mining what to get Bitcoin? Is that just the 101 that I need to do
Mhm.
my own research on?
Say that last part one more time.
Like when these miners are mining, where are they getting this MQT from that they're mining? Like I'm talking to a lot of new people about this, and they're like, where do they get crypto from? Where does
Okay.
it come from?
So here's the thing with Bitcoin and like Ethereum, there you got proof of work, you got proof of stake. We are proof of physical activity. So our MoveQuest tokens were already pre-minted. So where Bitcoin, you had to solve a mathematical equation in order to get a Bitcoin. You don't do that with the MoveQuest. The MoveQuest are already pre-minted. They're in a vault, and 2,500 per day are distributed based on that physical activity. So they are in what we call an airdrop smart contract. So basically, the MoveQuest tokens are sent to the airdrop contract. And while you're doing the physical activity, these hashes are being generated. And then each share, okay, equals an amount of MoveQuest. And so all of these hashes that you're generated are these shares, and that's what determines the amount of MoveQuest that you have mined from that proof of physical activity. So it's a different form of mining. It's not the same as mining Bitcoin. It's not the same as mining Ethereum. The MoveQuest token has already been pre-minted. All 21 million is already minted, and they're locked in a smart contract. They'll be locked in a time machine where only 2 point some million each year will be distributed for the first 4 years, and then it'll do a halving like Bitcoin did 1.3 million per year for the next four, and it'll just continue to do a halving. And that time machine will actually release them into that airdrop contract. So as soon as we're done with these contracts and they've all been audited, then we'll lock all that up.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Awesome. Okay, we've got Judy. Go ahead, Judy.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you
Yeah.
fine.
Wonderful. I'm not sure if this is actually a minting question, but it kind of is. With regards to the activation code, now, what if you have an incorrect activation code attached to your wallet?
It would be impossible.
Nope, it's possible.
Only if you created a user ID, because it just is impossible. So the only way that activation code is created is by the wallet address that you have connected to. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying. It's somehow it's not the right wallet address. And the activation code that's in there,
okay. So what
um,
you're saying is you have somebody that you shared it with that doesn't have the right activation code.
yeah, something
Okay,
like
that
that.
means that they requested one instead of using yours. So that can be fixed. Just get a hold of me, Judy, and send me what wallet address. So the wallet address that didn't activate using your code, but actually requested one. So it's always user error. You have to understand that blockchain
Yeah.
never makes a mistake, ever, ever, ever. So
Mhm.
if somebody activated and didn't use your activation code, then they were given one. But that's not a mistake on the system's part. That's a mistake on their part. But
Yeah,
it can be remapped if you just send me the information that it needs to be.
absolutely. Should I send that to you through WhatsApp or through Telegram?
Yeah, WhatsApp. I almost never go on Telegram. It's so scam heavy. I don't even like opening it.
Okay, I will send that to you through WhatsApp.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, awesome. All right, folks, stay on task. I think we was miners and minting. All right, Jamar, go ahead.
Going on,
What's up, bro?
everybody?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Lynette, thank you so much for your time. As someone who has, multiple omegas, I know you talked about the different elements allowing you to focus on different workouts to get maximum power. What about, you mentioned we'll be able to trade them at some point through the marketplace.
Mhm.
Is there any, does it matter what dock they're in that
No.
determines? So if I have eight different omegas, no matter what workouts I'm doing, it's just going to say, okay, for this type of running activity outside, the one that has the boost will still get the boost, and the other ones will just do the minimal. They'll just do
Yep.
the generic. Okay,
Yep. Each one of them calculate individually.
got it. So
Mhm.
it's almost like a Venn diagram of coverage based on the minors
Correct.
you have.
Site regarding the miners and the mining share power. Currently in the app, at least on the Androids, you can see the maximum share power, but when you go to the desktop version, you don't see that. Will that be interfaced into the new?
Yeah, it is in the new one. Yes.
Okay. All right.
It should be on this one too, but I just think the developers haven't gotten to, updating it yet.
Okay. It's just from a stare and compare version about which is the best ones to have, which ones give you the most power. You can see it only in one place and not the other. That's all I
Yeah.
reason I brought it up. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Thank
And
you for
it
your
is
time.
in the new app, but I'll see if they have time to add it to this one too. I had asked them to do that before, but they got so much on their plate. I think they micromanage me a little bit.
Understood. Thank you so much. All right.
Yep, you're welcome.
Awesome. All
The
right, all
color of the
right.
miners do not matter.
Oh, you see it in the chat? Yeah,
Mhm.
right. All right, Ava, you're up next. Take it away.
Oh, hi, Lynette and team. Thank you for the call. I'm quite new to the platform. Register, have my Lenny. In regards to the apps, the sleep app, I have an Android phone, and when I attempt to download that, it's requesting me to pay through Google, so it's not a free app. Is there some kind of structuring around that or an option for later on? My question.
So you can't, okay, so the app is free to download. There's no charge to download it. But some of your apps will charge you 99 cents to download their app or whatever. But we don't have any free version on the Avalanche chain. If somebody wants to mine with a free miner, they can do that on the Binance chain. That's the only chain that we offer people to get set up and start for free, and they can mine with what we call the Bob miner, and they mine at 25% mining power. But on these additional chains that we're adding, we will never offer anything free on those. It just devalues the market value of the token by doing that. So yeah, we don't do that. People don't have,
So
you gotta understand. You have to, people don't like.
Also and download the sleep app from Google.
So maybe I got your question wrong. What were you asking me? Because you were breaking up so bad.
Oh,
Were you
I'm sorry,
asking me if
maybe
you said it wasn't free to download the app, but were you talking about the sleep apps?
that's correct, yes.
Okay, so forgive me for that. I thought you were asking me about free miners. Would we ever offer it
Oh
for free?
no.
And our app
Oh
wasn't free to
no.
download or something. Yeah, it was breaking
No,
up super
not at
bad.
all.
So, okay. So yeah, totally off on that one. So like for me, I use Apple again.
I can
The
help you with
sleep
that,
just
Lynette.
works. And yeah, go ahead. Because you guys, when it comes to Android,
on
I don't
on
even want to learn Android. Isn't that terrible? I really need to.
I love Android.
Yes,
Oh,
on your Android device, when you go to download auto Sleep is Android is free to operate and does work with your Android device. Now, what you're speaking in reference to, and I have seen this on multiple occasions in different, I don't know what causes it to pop up. It will ask you to enter a payment method, but it will
Yes.
not, you may have to have a payment method on file. But when you actually download Sleep as Android, there is no charge for the app itself. But
Oh my.
Android does
Okay.
sometimes require a payment on file.
Oh, okay, I see. Thank you for confirming that. I've been
Yeah.
missing some real sleep moments here.
Right, right, right.
Okay, great. Thanks for clarifying.
Sure, no problem.
I'm
Thank
sorry again
you.
that I misunderstood your question.
yeah, she's
Oh,
coming in a
that's
little
right.
muffled this way. It's okay. I think she was coming a little muffled a
Yeah.
little bit. All good.
Yeah,
All right,
before
Aiden.
we
You,
take the
Sorry
next
about
question, let me
yes.
answer George, who said, how does
Oh,
the app know which rune or element you're activating in real time to get the mining boost? So here's the thing. The mining, when you mint that miner, it's created in real time. And then it's all that miner is not just a JPEG image. It's actually a piece of software. The elements, the attributes, everything about that miner, it's recorded on the blockchain. And so when you plug it into the mining dock and you submit that proof of physical activity, all of our smart contracts communicate with each other. So it goes and it gets that data that your miner has, and it calculates and computes everything based on your elements and your attributes of that miner that correlate with the physical activity that you've done. It's literally software. I mean, it's not just a picture. It actually is computing in real time. So hopefully that answered that. And then we can take the next question.
all right. Milia. Did I say that right? Or was it Milla? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You are unmuted.
Yeah, it's Mella.
Mella, okay. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Take
Hi
it away.
everyone. So
Thanks.
yeah, thanks Lynette for doing this. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to stick to what you ask us, right? The content at hand. So
Thank
my
you.
question is, I have 8 omegas, I have 2 braveries, 2 times, and 2 passions. So with me doubling up on those 3, would it be advantageous for me to do one of those activities within those elements?
So actually, I like the combination that you have. So you have passion, time, and bravery. Is that what you said?
Well, I have 2 passion, 2 times, and 2 braveries, but I also have a lightning and a steel and a passion, right? I have
Okay,
8.
so those actually work really well together, and I'll explain to you why.
Mhm.
So passion is about
Really?
consistency, right? It's
Okay, okay.
about, somebody who doesn't like necessarily like me. I'm a creature of habit. everything I do, every restaurant I go to, I have a specific thing on the menu that I eat. I don't, search around. If I go to Texas Roadhouse, I only get one thing. If I go to Olive Garden, I only get one thing. If I go to Carrabba's, I only get one thing. So passion is about somebody who does the same type of workout over and over and over. Something you're
Okay,
passionate
great.
about.
I do that. Okay.
Yep. Now
Yeah.
time
Okay.
is about, increasing the amount of time that you're spending doing these workouts. So, being consistent with what your workout is, but maybe increasing the time. And bravery is somebody who pushes themselves to do more. Okay. You're actually, maybe you're increasing the intensity of it. Steel would be like lifting weights or doing something strenuous. And then lightning gives you an overall boost on every single workout that you would do. It doesn't matter. It's not element specific. It's just any type of workout. So when you're looking at the combination of yours, passion, time, bravery, lightning, and steel, as long as, like, let's say you're doing the same types of workout, but you're pushing yourself to do more, you're increasing the intensity of it. All of the minors are working in sync together, which is actually pretty powerful when you think about it. So they all work together.
Wow, that's amazing because I am doing the same. I normally do elliptical, right? And I
Mhm.
do it and I'm increasing my steps every week. I add 1,000. So I'm at maybe about 24K. So my
Mhm.
goal is 30. So I do push myself. So, and I noticed
Yeah.
that I'm reaching my max shares sooner when I,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and that has a lot to do with the combination of what those miners are doing. So you actually have a really good group of miners there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Awesome. All right, Miller. Thanks so much for the great question. Go ahead, Judy.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for letting me go, but I think since I've already asked a question, if you could take Amanda Mitchell and everybody else who has their hand raised, and I'll come back at the end, if that's
Okay.
fine, because I've already asked a question. So,
Okay,
Yep, no, that's no problem.
no problem. Go ahead, Amanda.
Hey, thank you. This is Amanda in Atlanta. Thank you all for doing this. Thank you, Lynette, for doing this. Appreciate it.
Yep, no
So
problem.
my question is, I understood that what you explained about the vault, and that's where the 2,500 MQT come from. Sorry, I'm out of breath.
No, you're fine.
Doing a little bit of exercise. But my question is, so where did those MQT tokens come from? Who paid for them? Because when I share this with people, they are like, well, was there a crowd fund,
Nobody paid for those. So we didn't do any, okay, I'm gonna share my screen again here with everybody real quick. So with tokens, okay, they are minted. The only fee to mint those tokens is the cost involved in the actual blockchain process. Okay. There is no fee per token. They have zero value when they're minted, zero value. I mean, the market value of those tokens comes from the community, whatever the community drives those tokens to. That is what and where the market value of those tokens come from. So when they're minted, it's just a number. We say, okay, this is the name of the token. This is the sticker of the token. This is the amount of tokens that we want to mint. And then it's a matter of, sending that request to the blockchain. And then the blockchain returns 21 million MoveQuest tokens to the wallet that minted those tokens. So I'm going to actually go to I'm going to show you guys this here real quick. My computer is super slow. And let me get the vault so you can see the vault as well. Oh, I got to share, don't I? I'm not sharing. Okay. So this here, if you go to Snowtrace, this is MoveQuest, right? This is the contract address for MoveQuest. So you can see here everything that takes place. Let me widen my, let me bring this across a little better. Every activity that takes place that involves MoveQuest is recorded. You just simply have to take the contract address, go to snowtrace.io, place it up here in the search tokens, and it'll show you here the token supply is 21 million. Now, we are getting ready to submit the MoveQuest metadata. And so pretty soon it's going to tell you what the on-chain market cap is, what the price amount is. It'll give you a lot more data on this token. We have it, we're probably going to be submitting that on Friday, Saturday at the latest. You can click on holders. It'll show you what the holders are. This first one, this is the liquidity pool. This is the airdrop. Those are contracts. Now, if you were to go to, what is it? Snow, is it Snow Trace? There's another one. What's it called? Snow. What is the other one, you guys? There's Snow Trace,
I
and
think
then there's
it's
some Snow Scan.
yeah,
Ava scan.
Ava scan as well.
Yeah, and then there's I like the Snow Scan because it's more like the BNB, which actually it is on the Binance side of things. But it'll give you, to me, it's a little bit easier to see. So if I was to go to the MoveQuest tokens, and I wanted to go to the holders. See here, these are contracts right here. So this is the vault that ends in the DE8, and you can see there's 20,698,167 MoveQuest tokens in the vault.
Great, great, great. Thank you
This
so much.
here, yep, this is what's in the airdrop, or not the airdrop, but the liquidity pool. And this is what's in the actual airdrop. 17,500 are moved to the airdrop each week until we get to the 5,000 a day. So that then just the whole amount will go in there. So like at the beginning of next year, you would see 2.6 million in something that would just be sitting in that airdrop that would be removed from the vault. But right now, because we don't know when it's going to increase, because we're only at 2,500 a day. Once we see the demand for the token increasing, then we'll be able to start, bumping that up. Even though 5,000 will still go into circulation right now. So for example, if you're mining right now, and let's say today you mined 2 MoveQuest, you actually did mine 4. It's just that 2 are in a reserve contract for when the demand is here. Because there's the overselling of the token is a little bit too high right now to put all of those into circulation. So while I am a crypto addict and I absolutely love Bitcoin, Bitcoin diluted the market too fast for the amount of people that were actually in the Bitcoin community. And that's why it took Bitcoin so long to gain any market value traction. We're here with MoveQuest. We don't have that issue here. I mean, being even in the $50 mark, that's super, super high. It's unheard of on a token that's only been on the market for 90 days. And so you didn't see that even with Bitcoin in the first 90 days. You didn't see that with Bitcoin in the first few years. And so it's, it's just a difference in how we manage the tokenomics based on demand, where Bitcoin didn't base it on demand. It was just 50 Bitcoin per hour were mined in the first 4 years, and it over diluted the market before the community and that peer-to-peer community was actually there. So we do some things different from what Bitcoin did, but not a ton different. But the only reason we did it was to stabilize the market faster, to give people that market value faster, while we're building the community.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
this is what I was going to show you too, the vault. This is did I put the vault in here? Well, I'll just open this right here so you can see where the vault is. So you can go to the vault and you can see exactly every little movement that happens with the MoveQuest. And I think this is all good stuff for people to look at. So you can see here, anything that ends in C06 is connected to the evolution. And so you can see that the evolution wallet, the wallet's connected to the evolution contract, it actually sent 8,000 MoveQuest tokens back to the vault. Because the evolution contract has accumulated so many of the community tokens that have been oversold. I look at those numbers, I think, oh my gosh, people should have just really held on to those tokens because the Evolution contract is holding over 250,000 MoveQuest tokens. That's an insane amount of tokens. It's amazing for all of you who are part of this project because all of those tokens that have been returned back to the vault from the Evolution, those are like in the bank for future liquidity. And so would you add that up because it takes less MoveQuest? Is that my book? Oh, fun. Thank you. It takes less as the market value goes up, it takes less MoveQuest paired to the USDT. So that MoveQuest that the Evolution contract has absorbed is like hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidity. It's insane. It's like I added it up the other day. It was over $300 million of MoveQuest that's sitting there that will be paired to over $300 million of USDT. Those of you who are holding, that is future stability. That is future millionaires. All of you that have held that. When you're looking at the amount of MoveQuest that's already sitting back in the vault, that is huge. So when you see that now here, there's only twice that this has happened. When you see this is the vault right here, it sent 1,000 back to the Evolution wallet. Okay, and that was for liquidity because it was low on the amount of USDT it could add. It did use some of its MoveQuest that it had already purchased. It used 1,000 MoveQuest tokens to pair to the USDT and add to the liquidity pool. So I guess that whatever the algorithm decided at that point that it needed to use some of its MoveQuest reserve versus actually buying it from the exchange because it's already bought over 250,000 of them. And then here, so you can come in, you can look here, see it sent back 2,000, it sent back 5,000, anything that has that C06. Now, when you look at the one that ends in the 4576, it's sending the MoveQuest back to the vault from the commissions when people are minting the miner. So anytime you see MoveQuest going back to the vault from this wallet, it is the MoveQuest from people coming in, minting the miners. That's at 60% that goes back into the vault for mining in the year 2060. So that kind of gives you an idea of how you can, view this. This here, that 5CF, this is the Evolution contract. So that 17,500 that goes into the Evolution contract for distribution every week, you see that right here. And so you just can go back through the pages and you can see exactly, exactly where that MoveQuest is moving. And those are really the only three places you should ever see it move from the vault. It's either going to go in from the Evolution or the commission, or it's going to come out to go to the airdrop or to the Evolution liquidity. Those are the only transactions you should see ever from that vault because there was no allocation of MoveQuest to me, to the developers, for marketing, for anything. The project never sells MoveQuest. Not only that, it wasn't allocated either out to anybody. Not one person got a single free MoveQuest token. You'll never see it. So it's a good way for people who want to go and look at what's actually in that vault, in the activity that takes place within that vault. So hopefully that helps explain, how to track that with the tokenomics.
Okay, that's great. I love that. And I love when you go over all that. I can't wait for the replays to be able to go over it a few more times. I love that. Thank you so much for answering that. My other question was, and I knew it wasn't crowdfunding or anything, but that's what they ask. And then the other question is, how should we answer this part when they say, well, I know there's not a company, but they always ask, well, what does the company get out of this? Why, what if they're paying you, when I tell them that you only get back, I think 10 or 20% that you keep to put back in. And then I tell them, well, the developer did this because she has a heart, she's helping people get financially healthy. Not only that, but financially, healthy financially, not only that, but also physically healthy. So, is that right?
To make it very simple,
thanks again
when you look at these other projects, okay, they have the community pre-purchase tokens to cover development costs. Then they have the community supply the liquidity. I really, after being in the crypto space from 2009, I'm sick of watching all of these greedy projects just milk people dry of millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. When you can build a crypto project the right way, and yes, we get 10% to cover development costs, to cover, design and to cover marketing and all the things that we do. We pay customer support and everything like that out of the 10%. And you know that that's plenty of money. And if we do our job right and we build a solid project and the community loves it and they see value in it and they're losing weight and they're making money and it's making a difference in their life. And if we did it the right way, and let's say we get to 1 million people, do you know that that's like hundreds of millions of dollars? That's profit from 10%. Okay, that means that it's even more money because 90% stays here with the community. What in the world would I ever do with that much money? I mean, you just cut greed out. You build the right project. If you do it the right way, you're good. And that's what I did. I want something that's going to change people's lives. Am I going to make great money if I did this right and it gets the traction? It's absolutely. But I don't have to take it all. 10% is more than fair. You got to understand there's no overhead here because this is 100% decentralized. There is no cost to me. I'm not paying for inventory that I have to resell. This is a decentralized project. The community is paying for everything. You guys pay to mint your miners. You pay to submit your proof of physical activity. You pay to claim. You cover all those blockchain fees yourself. We don't hold inventory. We are the manufacturer of the product. We don't have to go buy it wholesale and then sell it retail. We're the manufacturer of the product. There's no overhead cost to us. Our service costs less than $25 a month because everything is on chain. How much more than 10% do we need to take? If we did, we're just greedy.
Okay. You gave us some extra there. We appreciate it. It's all
Called
good. It's all good.
transparency.
Yes, I know. Yeah, let you go, right? All right, Vidar. Hope I'm saying that right. Go ahead. Miners and minting, please. Try to stay on task because we don't want to be. This could be very long and drawn out if we don't stay on
it's
task. So
okay.
appreciate it.
It's the thing that I'm struggling to explain is when you say 400% mining power, what is that based on what? So that is something that's lacking in my knowledge to explain other people, in order to get more people into the community.
So
like
everything started with a primary miner, which is 100%. Okay.
Mhm.
So that would mean that if you start taking 100% as a base mining power, that would be the miner that has 100% mining power. Okay. So if I maxed out my fitness, I would get 100% of my share of those tokens that were distributed for that day. And then what we did was we just increased the mining power from that 100%. And then from the entry level miner, we decreased it by 50%. And that's how we came up with the mining power bases.
Okay, that makes sense. That was all. Okay, thank you so much.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. All right, Joseph Whitner. Go ahead. I believe you're unmuted. Take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Lynette.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to ask, in regards to the halving aspect, is there any relation there in regards to the miners? They are kind of getting some comparisons of where things are different with the mining or the pre-mining aspect of the miners for MQT. But I'm just curious what the halving aspect has on the miners.
So it doesn't really, the halving basically is about supply and demand, which will make the token more valuable. So, next in 4 years, instead of it, being the 5,000 distributed, actually it's supposed to be like next year it'll be the 7,200 per year. it would just move into half. So instead of 7,200 going out every day, it would be what, 3,500 would be 700, 3,600 per day. So instead of 5,000, a day, it'd be the 3,600 per day for the next 4 years. And then they would just cut in half. So basically it just decreases the amount that's going into circulation over time, which again, more scarcity, less in circulation, increases the market value. So if you're mining and you're mining less, eventually when the community is increased in size, that will mean that you are making more each day, even if you're mining less, because the market value of the token is so much higher. But obviously, people who are getting started now, I mean, there's always a first mover's advantage. I mean, look at the people that got started with Bitcoin on day 1, 2, or day 30 or year 3 or 4. I mean, they made a hell of a lot more money, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars compared to what people are going to make on Bitcoin today. So is it still valuable 3 to 5, 6 years down the road? I mean, yeah, who else is going to pay you to do what you're already doing? Who's going to pay you to become healthy? You know what I mean? So it's absolutely still worth it, but is it going to be as worth it 5 years from now? Is a person 5 years from now going to make exactly what you're making today? Not even close, because they're going to be getting less MoveQuest.
Right.
So now is the best time to be stacking up on those, because there's going to come a time where, 3, 4 MoveQuest a day is going to be unheard of. It won't ever happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Helpful.
saving these MoveQuests right now is really critical. I mean, people that are selling them, you do what you got to do, but I'm telling you, if you're looking for future wealth, you got to think about what Bitcoin did.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. And then the other, I guess, part I was going to ask is, for every, for every one miner that burns, is that how much MQT is getting burned is really the dollar equivalent of that?
Never. We never burn MoveQuest ever. So we never burn MoveQuest here. We don't have a burning mechanism here, because all it does is inflate the market value. The only thing that gets removed is the minting of the miners. So when somebody comes in, if there was, let's say 100 MoveQuest today come in from minting, 60 MoveQuest go back to the vault. 40 of those MoveQuest were paid out in commission. It's a 60-40 split right now.
Got it. And so is you say it doesn't get burned, but what you're saying there, because there is the recycling aspect of things. So that's really what it is, right? It's going in the vault and it's there until 2060.
Exactly. Yep. So right now, the 21 million will go into distribution between now and the year 2035. And then 2059. And then in 2060, everything that's been sent back from the minting of the miners, that is what people will begin to mine, is, what's accrued from that. Right now, it's a little over 50,000 MoveQuest. So there's enough MoveQuest there to take us into the year 2090.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So because is it at 2059 when the airdrop would basically or 2035 when the airdrop would
2030, yeah, no,
stop?
it's about 2059 is ours. Let me see if I can bring up my spreadsheet, and I'll show you guys how the tokenomics work real quick so you see it. Let me share this. Whoops, wrong one. Share. All right, let me come back over here. All right, so the year 2024, see, Bitcoin is done in the year 2044. I don't even know where I got 2035 from, to be honest with you. So Bitcoin will be done in the year 2044. This is MoveQuest starting in 2024, and it will run till 2059. Okay, at that point. Now what happens is in 2060, what we've recycled back into the vault will begin the mining process from there. So you would have, all right, guys, you would have, instead of 10,000 a year going out, it'd be 5,100 per year, 14 per day, and it would do it for 4 years. And then in the year 2064, it would be 2,566 per day, per year, 7 per day. And it would just keep dropping until we get down into, here where it's just going to be 321 a year, basically a little less than one a day. And we were at 2087, but we're now up into the 2090s with that MoveQuest. So basically it would still be, but at this point, MoveQuest is probably well over $1 million in market value. And there would only be one of them going out per day. That's a lot of money going out today in MoveQuest. You know what I mean? It'd probably be even higher than that. It doesn't take much to get us to $150,000 market value of MoveQuest. It's less than 2 million people. If we had the community that Step In started with in their 90 days, they've only got 11,000 active users now. But if we had those 2 million, MoveQuest would be over $150,000 a token.
I wasn't ready. Oh, wow. Pretty impressive. Okay.
Thanks again.
Joseph,
Yeah, that
you
covers
good?
it. Yeah,
All right.
no, thanks a
Awesome,
lot.
man. Good questions. Good questions, man. Great insight. Judy, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, my question has to do with something similar to what Melia was asking about the miners and the elements associated with them. Now, if, for instance, because I know a lot of us right now, we are stocking up on those miners for when the marketplace comes in. So if, for instance, I happen to have a lot of nature miners, which I'm mining with because I like to walk a lot. Okay. Now, let's say, for instance, one day I know I'm going to be at a swimming pool. Can I look into my inventory of miners, undock all the nature miners, and dock the water element miners in order to maximize
Yeah, you can swap
the day
those
at the
miners
pool?
out. Yep, you can swap your miners anytime you want. You only pay that mining dock fee once. But once you've unlocked it, you can swap any miners in and out of there that you want to.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I guess that means we're going to be changing our workouts to cater to the actual miners that we have in order to maximize it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And I want to
You're
leave you
welcome.
guys with a thought here. Because you know that old saying, the early bird gets the worm?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I have another saying we should think of. Rather than the early bird gets the worm, think it's the second mouse that gets the cheese.
Yeah.
And right now, we have the position to be that second mouse because of
Yep.
all the knowledge we've gained with regards to Bitcoin. So we got something
100%.
special. Take advantage of it. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank
And
you.
I will mute.
Awesome. Kate, bring it. How you doing? Oh, I think Kate just disappeared.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Go ahead. Sorry about
Thank
that.
you so much.
Uh-huh.
And Matt, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is my first crypto project, and I am thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Glad you're here too.
Thank you. I just got my husband set up a couple days ago, and he now has 4 Omegas. We just got his Apple Watch in the mail today. We're downloading the app tonight. And with his 4 Omegas, he has 3 passions and 1 time.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering, I'm still learning everything. Does it matter what order we dock his Omega?
No. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. And for having 3 passions, do you think I'm sure it's personal preference, but would it be good for us to try to trade out some and get more variety?
It just depends on what type of workouts that you guys like to do. You know what I mean? It's like for me personally, even though the lightnings don't give as much of the mining boost, it gives me a boost on all of my fitness. So I like my lightning miners, but I pay more attention to what my attribute bonuses are, especially in my steps, distance, and workouts. I don't worry too much about my sleep and my calories because that's only 10% of the mining power. So each one of those only gets 5%. You get 30% mining power to your steps, 30% is allocated to distance, 30% is allocated to the I'm sorry, distance workouts and steps, because those are the three intense forms of physical activity, where then 5% is calories, 5% is sleep. So I like to really pay more attention to what my attributes are more so than my elements, because even on, let's say you've got a miner that is steel, but you don't really lift weights or do heavy types of workouts, right? Strenuous type workouts, you're still getting 10% on all workouts. So each one of these elements, even though they are specific to a workout at that 35% mining power, if you're doing a workout that is not workout specific, it still is giving you a 10% mining boost. So let's say you do have steel and you're going on a walk. Okay, that is still a workout. And even though it's not lifting weights, it still is getting you a 10% mining boost on those workouts. So I pay more attention to my, what my percentages are per steps, distance, and workouts. That's where I focus. That's just my personal preference, but that's what I do.
And you said passion was about consistency or routine?
Yep. Yeah, more about routine, and time is more about, the intensity, the time that you're spending working out. If it's increasing, and that also plays into the omega's mining power beginning to increase. So, as you're submitting every day, if the intensity is increasing, the amount of time you're working out, all of these things are consistent or increasing, those omegas are going to begin to increase their mining power up to and over 1,000%.
It's amazing. What a brilliant the algorithms. You are brilliant, Lynette. Thank you.
Thank you.
We agree.
Ah,
All right. Kim Higdon, welcome. And you're live. I think, yep, there you go.
Hello. Hi.
Hey.
hello, hello.
Hi. I have a few questions. One has to do with when you're upgrading from the alphas to the omegas and you're combining those two alphas to create the omegas. Do those alphas get recycled or do they just cease to exist?
What we do is we put them in what we call the graveyard contract. So we don't burn them out like what you would do if you were trying to get rid of something, because they are all unique, and because we still have the legendary and the rare and the ultra rares out there. We don't want to, if we were to burn miners, it makes it more difficult to get to those legacy miners, those rare miners. So we
Okay.
just put them, we just read, oh, and not only that, but they could be reminted again. So see, there are no two alike that are, in working order. And so we just retire them. We don't
Okay.
actually burn them away because we don't want somebody else to mint somebody else's miner down the road. So we retire them. We never
Okay.
use them. They're locked in a contract, never to be used again. And the reason we do that is because you never want myself or developers or whatever to be competing with the community, right? You don't want the actual project itself to compete with the community. Because I could easily have said, okay, yeah, there's 50,000 miners in there from the evolution process. We can put them all up to lease, or we could offer them for charity events or whatever. We will never do that. So they get locked in that graveyard that retires them permanently, but just not, deleting them out of circulation.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hey, there we go. Thanks so much, Kim, for that. All right, we've got Ava. Take it away.
Hi, my simple question, would this recording be available, like this presentation?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great.
Mr. Crow
You
will
need
make
to
sure.
share it. Okay,
Are you
great. Thanks.
are you
Sure.
connected to us in the Telegram or any other chats?
Telegram and WhatsApp, of
Okay,
course.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We usually post them there underneath recordings, and that's where you can find it.
This is good. This is blowing my mind, and I'm not the one to hold back when I hear good. This is truly blowing my mind for somebody who's lost so much to crypto and has put so much into projects.
Mm.
My God, Lynette, like honestly, I feel so blessed just to be sitting here and listening to you.
Wow.
That's wealth. Just hearing you, and I know you're truly speaking from your heart. I can tell. I've heard many people speak before. I can differentiate between those and you today. Thank you so much. I look forward to the future with you.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Ava. Awesome stuff.
Truly,
Okay, we've
truly.
got Mr. Leonard, what's up, bro? Take it away. I think you're unmuted. Let me try that again. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, here's my question. It might have been asked and answered, but Lynette, how long until the Lennies get locked to a MQT token?
Yeah, good question. Let me go tell you real quick. I can look right now and let you know where they're at. Let's see. So I can put this in the chat. I don't know if you guys can copy it or not. Oh, it's actually in the dashboard, but just to let you know, let's see, to everyone. That is the minor contract. So if I was to come over here, let me go back up here. Okay, here. Holy moly. Heck, serious right there? Wow. I'm gonna have to check the contract to see if it already triggered. Ooh.
What I don't think
167,000. Yeah, I don't think it's counting those. It's counting what's in the mining dock. That's what it's counting. I guarantee it. I have to go look and see what that contract is doing because they all, like I said, I have them all communicating and they've all got algorithms to follow. So I'm going to go look and see here what's in the mining dock because I guarantee you that that's what it's going to take it from. Because there's several different algorithms that run on this.
so. What I don't think people understand is we've been overselling this token, and if a Lenny miner is $50 and the token makes it down to $50, when it gets locked, that means it's going to be one MQT token and whatever that value is as it
Oh, yeah.
rises. And I don't know, but the smart contract hasn't kicked in the last 2 days, I think. It hasn't injected any liquidity.
Oh, yeah, it has.
Did it do it since we've been on the call?
No,
Because
I did. Well, I mean,
the
I guess I
last
don't
time
really
I
know,
saw it
but
was on the 13th. But I'm just saying,
oh
I
no,
don't
it's
think
always
people
buying on
realize
MoveQuest. Let me see something here. So
that part.
I mean, it's not gonna
Yes.
add a whole, it's gonna base it on the selling and stuff, but let me get the wallet because you can come in and you can look at, let me see something here. Okay, right here. So if you were to click on this, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, darn it, where's my head today?
I've seen where it's been buying the tokens.
There we go. So let's see. It will do a correction, which it did here, and then re-adds it. So 2 hours and 58 minutes ago, it did 2 hours and
There you go.
59 minutes ago. 2 hours, 59 minutes ago, about $10,000 worth of MoveQuest. Then it did do a removal, and then it bought 20,000 more, $20,000 worth more, $10,000 worth more, and then it added it back. So it could pull out excess. And then you've got here 13 hours ago, it's done more buying lately because of the overselling, but 2 days ago it added 200 and what, $32,000 worth. Added what, 270 some $1,000 right there, 2 days, 6 hours ago. Buying here it added 100,000. That was 4 days ago. So I mean, it's had to do more buying lately. See the amount of buying it's had to do?
Yeah, I haven't looked at
Here it
DEX
added,
tools in 2 hours, so
Yeah.
I didn't
So I
see the ad.
mean, yeah, and you can see all the buys and stuff. But if the community is overselling, it has to buy, the token before it can add the liquidity, unless it takes it from the reserve. But it's all, like I said, again, based on the algorithm. So if the community is overselling, the evolution is just going to keep buying it, which is just, future wealth for the holders, honestly, because of the huge amount of liquidity that'll go in a few months down the road. But I mean, optimal would be that the evolution contract just keep injecting liquidity. It wouldn't have to do any corrections. It wouldn't have to, you know, keep buying it, that it could just start adding it from the reserve. So for example, let's say $100,000 was evolved today. If that was the case, instead of having to buy 50,000 in MoveQuest, it could just take $100,000 worth of MoveQuest from the vault and add $200,000 in liquidity, and it could beef it up so fast. But with the community doing the overselling at the level that they do, it makes it difficult, you know what I mean, for the evolution to do what we really want it to do, which is just keep adding, adding. Because it's got, for every hundred, let's say for every $10,000 of USDT, it's already got all those MoveQuest sitting in the vault. So it's like, an extra 10K, extra 100K, extra 200K, it's already purchased it. You know what I'm saying? So it could beef up this liquidity so fast, it would be insane, but community's got to stop overselling it first.
My next question for evolving to the next level of miner, in the future, are we going to have automatic raises to go from a primary to a Lenny, or I mean, a Lenny to a primary, or whatever?
So
Someone's
so when we get into the new app, you'll just click a button and pick which level you want to go to. It'll just charge you for that level. You won't have to go through each of the steps.
I get that, but cost wise, are we going to have an increase in cost over time too?
Oh, yeah. The whole ecosystem will increase in value as the market value increases.
Do we know, are we able to see that somewhere?
It's all
So we have
based
an
on
idea.
so many factors. So it's based on size of community, amount of evolution, amounts of the algorithms that are in play. It would take me first of all, that's giving away my secret sauce too, that I really don't want to make too public, but because I don't want anybody going out and recreating what we've done until we've already cornered the market with this system. But I mean, like tomorrow, when I go over the submission and the claims, I'm going to share with you what that algorithm is and what it entails. But there's so many factors that play into these increases. And it's all based on number of miners, types of miners, the size of the community, the market value of the token, and what it takes to sustain it based on X amount selling, X amount holding. I mean, it's such a huge, it took me months and months and months to put these mathematical algorithms together. And so to just open it up and say, here you go, everybody, this is how it all works. Yeah, I'm still sitting on that one a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's, I understand that. My thought is, knowing that our token is around $50 or whatever it is right this second, if the contracts locks that MQT to a value and we're at 1-to-1, then it might be wiser right now to get a hold of as many lendings as you can, even though it's going to cost more
100%.
money in the future. But just to get those lendings is probably the wisest thing to do.
100%. Like right now, if you were to, oh my gosh, so it's 0.9, it's almost one MoveQuest. And we have 167,000 miners that have been minted. I was trying to see how many were in the actual mining dock. Oh, I know how many are in the mining dock right here. There are 32,000. Okay, so I do know that within the algorithm, it will lock at between 50,000 and 100,000 miners. Okay, but again, it's based on the size of the community and the amount of wallets that are submitting. So literally we could be, what, 15 to 18,000 miners away from this locking. And yeah, I see what you're saying now, because if it locks in here at that $1 or at that one MoveQuest mark, which is almost takes a MoveQuest right now. Yeah, and then the price goes up to 500 MoveQuest and it takes one MoveQuest. It's going to take $500 to mint a miner of lending. if it goes up to $100 and it locks at 0.9, it's just under $100 to mint a Lenny, where these Lennies are $50 right now. So you're right, because they're going to appreciate in value very, very fast. And we're not that far away from it. In fact, we're not far away from it at all. It could happen in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, good point. I'm really glad you brought that up because I didn't realize we were getting that close, but we're getting very, very close.
Yeah,
And that's going to drive the market value of MoveQuest up significantly. Because now instead of people needing 50 to mint a miner, they're going to need 100 or 200 or 300 or 400. If somebody wants to come in and mint a Lenny, it could cost them $300, $400, $500 based on the market value of MoveQuest. And then Lenny's become very valuable because, you know, you get MoveQuest at that market value and you're making $100 a day using a Lenny miner. You know what I mean? So everything, it's a stepping ladder, and everything just gets better and better and better as we grow.
the other thing I don't think people understand is every time you buy a Lenny and you use that MQT, it's getting put into the vault. So now there's less MQT available right this second. And eventually we could be going into the negative, which is going to drive it up even higher.
Yeah. Yeah, because people will be holding on to it tighter. We'll be getting rid of it. But then you've got the move, you have to remember too, the MoveQuest that the evolution contract is holding, it would be able to add it into, so we wouldn't really have a negative MoveQuest ever, but it would be very scarce. Which is good. That's what you want. Scarcity drives market value.
There you go. People in the chat. I'm buying Lenny's to hold. Absolutely. Remember the leasing. Someone asked, what was the number again that it will lock in, Lynette? I think it was
Well,
50.
within my algorithm, it's between 50 and 100,000 miners in the mining dock. So, I mean, it could happen. It's not far away. We've got 50,
32,000, right?
Yeah, 32. This will show you guys everything we have. There's 4,699 Lennies in the mining dock right now. There's 5,083 primaries, 2,357 ultras, 8,344 alphas, 11,966 omegas for a total of 32,477. It's still calculating up to 100%, but this is the wallets that are submitting right here per day. So we're over the 5,000 mark.
That's good.
And yeah, I'll let you guys in on a couple of really exciting things coming up too this week as we keep going through these calls closer to the end of the week. So I got to finish.
Yeah, hold off on some of that. You're giving a lot of good stuff today.
Yeah,
Let
well, you
everybody
guys are
just
gonna
get
want to, you're gonna want to really chime in on Friday because we'll be talking about the next chain and how we're going to do the liquidity on that chain and what it means. So these miners that you have play a significant role in our next chain.
Even the Lennies.
Yes, even the Lennies, every one of them.
Here, Herschel, here he comes. Here comes Herschel. All right, what you got to say, bro? Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was just reacting to what I just heard.
I know that's right. All right, let's keep it going. Todd, what you got? What's going on?
Hey, brother. Hey, Lynette. I am just a couple quick questions. I know you're highlighting minting and elements today. The slide that you showed had things with like 30% bonuses, and the PowerPoint showed different ones, and I just didn't know if there was
I have them wrong.
conflict
So I
between
mean,
the 30
I
and the
just did.
35.
I just did it real quick before we went on here, and I didn't realize that I had typed in the wrong numbers. I believe it's 35% and 10.
Okay.
And then, but I'm going to give you the actual ones. I've got to get with the developers and see what's actually in the code.
Okay, I didn't know if something had been updated or which was
No.
the more current.
The
And
one that
then
you're seeing is the one I
the
did. I
PowerPoint.
just put that together like 20 minutes before the call.
I got you. Okay, cool. And then real quick, I know you mentioned the potential for bonuses and things like that up to 1,000 on the Omegas. So is that only going to be available on Omegas? So if you're running alphas, you don't have the ability to bonus above the 200 or whatever?
Yeah, only
currently?
Omegas.
Okay, so another incentive to get people to max out. Awesome. And then how are we doing as far as the I know you were going to look at numbers as far as the discount on the upgrades and things like that, and when that might
Probably
change.
in the next day or two, we're gonna go back up to where we were at because it's
Just to
slowed
kind
down
of,
enough. Yeah, it's slowed
yeah,
down enough
give
now
people a
where,
heads up. Hey, get it done before it changes.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
we were doing it because there were people that just didn't have time to get in, and I seen the rush going
Yeah,
in of the people that didn't get it done, and now it
yeah,
started to taper down into its normal level, so we'll go back up in the next day or two. Probably
awesome.
Friday, I would imagine it'll go back up where it was at.
All right, awesome. I appreciate you. Appreciate the time. I'm a recovering accountant and kind of a data nerd, so I don't know if one of these days you dive into some of the numbers a little bit more. I love
Yeah,
geeking out on some of that stuff.
sure, absolutely.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Yep, you
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we've got a couple number nerds. I have one
Mhm.
gentleman, Rodabush. He definitely into his numbers, man. It's awesome. All right, Jamar, you are last, my friend. Miners and minting. What is on your mind?
Yes, miners and minting. I'm also an accountant as well, or former accounting nerd, system engineer analysis nerd as well. My question was about the when you look at those different elements, when you look at the different totals, right? I was just taking a look at mine. I have two bravery, one time, three steel, and then two nature.
Uh-huh.
In regards to, for example, the sleep category, that's the one category that I've been having a hard time getting it to like be accurate at all. If I'm short, let's say for example, if I'm trying to sleep for 8 hours, but I'm only getting 6, for example, does that boost in if I have a total boost of 48% between all of my omegas, does that mean I only need to sleep for 4.5 hours and I get credit for 8?
So it's,
Or do I,
yeah, basically that's exactly what it means.
oh, okay.
Mhm. So
And
like if I was walking, let's say I did 20,000 steps and like in my intensity boost, if 20,000 of them fell in tier 4,
mhm.
I would have an extra 6,000 steps. So it'd be like walking 26,000 steps that day in relation to what that mining boost does, for example.
Got it. Got it. Now, does it help in any regards in terms of shares to go over that amount? That like that
Right.
cap if
So
it's
when
too.
you see the max mining shares, that's at the base level. And
Got it.
so they were supposed to add in what the max shares could be with your bonuses and before the bonus, like base miner. So your max shares is based on just the base level of mining. It doesn't include your attributes or the element.
Okay.
Or maybe it's
So
the element it includes. I'll get all that from you too. They just changed a bunch of stuff for the new app to make it easier for people to understand. I can't remember how they broke it down. If it included just the base plus the element. I know before it didn't include any of the bonuses. It only included the base and the element. It didn't include the attribute.
got it, the
But I'm
attributes.
gonna check and see how they changed it. We've had so many meetings and I forget exactly how everything is gonna work in the MoveQuest because it displays different so people can see the differences between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And so I
So
think what I'm going to do, one of these, so one of the meetings that we have, we may have to do this for next week too. I think I'm going to have Waleed and Ali on one day next week. And one, we can really touch in on sleep and what people need to do to deal with the sleep issue that people are having. It's driving me nuts too, because the only way I get my sleep is if I wear my watch to bed. I didn't
yep.
use my watch at night. I would always hang it up and charge it, but and then I would let my phone calculate my sleep. But something in Apple, I have to go in, I think, turn something off in my Apple Watch app so that my phone will collect it because now the phone won't collect it from the watch if you're using the,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's some crazy stuff going on with
Mm-hmm.
these latest updates. So we'll do a Zoom on that. And then we will also do a Zoom on the max mining shares and how to calculate the different element and attribute bonuses and the intensity bonuses so that people understand exactly how all that works.
All right, that's great. And so one other quick little question around that intensity you just mentioned with, well, I'm not sure how the watch would detect it, but for intensity, let's say if I'm jumping rope, that's pretty intense, right? Does
A
that?
lot of it's based off like your heart rate,
Mm,
and all of that good stuff. So for that workout,
got it. Got it.
calories, it looks at the amount of calories you
Got it.
burned. Obviously, you burn more calories if your workout is more intense.
Yep. Yep. But that's good though. So 48, I got a 48% boost in sleep, which is great because I'm like a 6 hour a night sleeper. And if I force myself to sleep more than that, I actually end up feeling a little groggy.
Yeah, I
So
don't do it either. I just stick
yeah,
to my usual 6 hours and I'm happy with that.
got it. And then the boost will just make sure I'm there. But I
Yep.
now just got to get the tracking. Okay, thank you so much. Looking
Yep,
forward
you're
to our
welcome.
next call. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hey, Javon, I'm looking forward to that presentation, my friend. Let me know. Awesome. Good stuff. All right, Mela, you are the last one now. Okay, you are up. Oh, somebody else raised their hand. I think we're going to take these last two here. Is that okay, Herschel? I think we're wrapping it up. It's almost
Yeah,
5.
that's fine. We'll
Yeah,
knock
let's
out these
get this
last
done.
two and call it a
All
night.
right.
Go
Well,
ahead,
thank
Mela.
you, Ken, for taking my question again. So I was
Gotcha.
just answering some questions in the chat about, can you exceed your max shares? So what I've noticed is that when I had 7 Lennies, 7 primaries, I evolved them all at the same time because I think I heard somewhere if you have a mix, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but what I've noticed is that when I max out the primaries, the alphas, I could go over the max shares. But now that I'm at Omega, doesn't matter how hard I push the pedal, I can never exceed my 15.426 shares. I mean, I tried.
I think that's where the difference is when they changed it, because when you seen it before, it was the max shares did not include your bonus. And I believe that now the max shares is including the bonus, and that's why you wouldn't be able to get over it because it already includes the bonus. I wasn't in favor of them making that change, but I had agreed to it. And I think that kind of proves why, you know what I mean? Because I always liked being able to see my shares, but then I increased my shares because I did more of my physical activity. So I like to see that that difference. I'm going to ask them right now.
Yeah, because that encourages me to push it harder, right? If we're doing
Yeah,
challenges and that kind of thing, you want to know that you're getting more shares for your extra effort.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And I'll let you guys know tomorrow when we come back.
Awesome. All right. Washington, Janine. This is Janine. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
First of all, I thank you for taking my question. I don't always get to be on the Zooms because I work so much. So I hope this hasn't been already covered. But there's a new app. I have the original app. Does that mean it just automatically updates itself, or do I need to go re-upload a new app?
So
Because
what's
I
going to
just
happen when we're done, we'll just have like a pop-up that will come in the app and ask you to convert to the new app, and it basically just moves everything over.
okay, got it. All right.
It'll be easy.
Yeah. And I have like 2 primaries and just a few Lennies, and I don't really see much of an increase in my MQT every time I claim my 10 shares. So maybe I just don't understand everything yet, but I'm wondering if maybe that'll happen during the update.
You don't really see an increase in your MoveQuest that you're mining. What do you mean by that? I mean,
Well, the number doesn't really increase that much, or when I've claimed like 3 times now. I wait till it gets to 10 and then I claim. So I've done that like 3 times and I haven't seen much of an increase at all of my MQT when I go back and check it in my wallet.
you'd have to go take your external wallet and go on the blockchain, and it'll tell you exactly how many MoveQuests were added. So I don't know how much activity you're doing or how many MoveQuests that you're mining per day.
Okay.
But when you claim it, it does add it. So you know what I mean? It just depends on the amount of physical activity you're doing. Do you max out your mining, your mining, your fitness, or no?
I don't max it all out. I try really hard, but I don't. So maybe
I
that's
don't
the
either. Don't
difference.
feel bad. No, I don't either. I mean, I'm mining an average of about a half a MoveQuest per day with my
Yeah.
8 Omegas, is what I'm getting. But so I
Okay.
mean, 10 days, that'd be like 4 or 5 MoveQuest.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking my question.
Yep, you're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Lynette, I do have one last message just came in the chat in reference to the miners themselves, because we know they're all smart and have technology and programming behind them. The ability for our Omegas to increase in mining power, that won't happen, I know, until after the rebrand at some point. But any idea of when that officially will start?
On the increase of the mining value?
Right, the ability for, based off of our physical activity, for the miners to, the Omegas to increase in mining power.
As soon as we start the arenas, so you'll start to see this come into play probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks, because the challenges play a major role also in that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you have to participate in challenges in order for.
No,
Oh,
you
okay.
don't. But because of the challenges, we've got a better way of getting some different types of data for like intensity and monitoring things. And so we're implementing that structure in. And once we have that done, we'll be able to turn that feature in. So we're using some different technology that we've created for the use of challenges. Like, it's impossible to cheat the challenges, but we're taking some of that we're using that technology from the challenges that we built, and we're converting it into the increasing power of the miners. So we're using some of the same functionality. So it's just a matter of getting all of that done and making sure it's all working right. So it's not that so I kind of said it wrong, because I made it sound like you had to do the challenges. But basically what I'm trying to say is that some of the technology that we created for the challenges will be used in the increasing ability of those miners, the Omega miners. And so we'll start to test it, 2, 3 weeks from being able to use the challenges to see how accurate and how, it's going to work within the feature to have those miners increase their mining power.
Perfect.
All right. I think we're good. Anything else? I just saw your message, Herschel. Well, how do you all think about getting this recording and just really letting it soak in? You probably retain about 10% of what you heard today. I mean, it was a lot of great questions, a lot of great, content that Lynette broke down, numbers and all kinds of stuff. So I think we're going to postpone our overviews for that reason. These are very powerful, very intimate, present or explanations, like Herschel called them. And you're going to have to spend some time really digging through here and getting what it is that you need out of them, right? So we're going to give everybody time to really soak up the knowledge and the information, and we'll come back tomorrow, 4 p.m., right? Eastern time, 3 Central, and Lynette's going to drop some more bombs on us. More good stuff from another aspect of what we were doing today was minting and mining, or minting miners and mining, and a little sprinkle of it, a couple other things that were really powerful as well. We appreciate that. But tomorrow, we'll see what that day brings, and we'll have a kind of like some archives here of some information I think everybody's going to be able to share moving forward, and have more clarity on certain things that a lot of questions have been asked about, obviously. So, Herschel, you got anything? But yeah, for today and to the rest of the week, we're going to postpone the 8 p.m. because Lynette's going to be here every day, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 Central. And if you need a presentation, we got plenty of overviews. They're everywhere, right?
And then what I'll do is, as soon as we conclude this call, I will download and upload it to a link and have it in the Telegram group as soon as it comes off the press. So within the next 30 minutes or so, it will be made available so we can all share it with everybody that wasn't able to make it to the call, and spend a little time this evening going back through it. And I think even rewatching, you'll get a lot more out of it than you did the first time, because it's going to start filling some gaps. And my hope is that it gets people that much more excited about the longevity of what this project actually does represent, and
absolutely,
we can be positioning ourselves for what the future could hold. So Miss Lynette,
Absolutely.
we thank you. I know you got the many things you need to go do and get prepared for. And we appreciate you and look forward to seeing and hearing from you again tomorrow. Until then, everybody, y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. We will have, I believe Brandon does his overview call at
12 Eastern.
1 p.m.
1
Eastern.
Is it 1? Yes, 1 Eastern.
1 p.m.
12,
Eastern.
12 Central.
We will have Q&A / help desk / everything else. Catch y'all at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, and then we'll come back here at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow to get another segment of what Miss Lynette has to share. Until then, everybody, y'all have a wonderful afternoon. We'll see you then.